the very beginning, I talked about how we would be using oval shapes for everything in a portrait. So you'll use an oval for the face shape, as well as the eyes. We used circles and ovals to create the eyes. We used ovals to create the guidelines for the nose. And we will be using a lot of ovals to help us get a correct mouth shape that doesn't look flat. And that's going to help us to kind of make it look like a more realistic portrait. And that's our goal for this quarter, is to learn how to make a portrait look a little more realistic and less like a cartoon. I will show how to draw one ear, but since the portraits that we are focusing on right now are frontal portraits, we're not having portraits with the head turned to the side, we won't need to know very much about this right now. This is a little bit more middle school or high school of an art lesson. So to start, they have two ovals on the top, one larger oval on the bottom. So the larger oval looks like it's about the same width as both of these ovals. They kind of line up that way. So this one is twice the size of the ovals on top. I'm going to draw lots of different shapes of these ovals. This one I'm trying to copy it a little bit how it is in the book. So the one on the bottom is going to be the same width as the two on the top. This kind of reminds me of like Mickey Mouse a little bit. So you like add a little nose and some giant eyeballs. Kind of reminds me of Mickey Mouse. So that helps you remember the shape or create the shape, then I hope it does. So I've got those ovals, and then it looks like they made a line here, a curved line on the top, and then they kind of copied that on the bottom. And they've got two curved lines here where the corners of the mouth would be. And I can help you discover where those would go during our live session, during our meet. Step 2, gonna connect all of these. So this is, of course, where it starts to look more like a mouth and less like Mickey Mouse with his arms ripped off. Anyway, so you can connect these lines, and the lines that are here look like they're more for the middle of the mouth, a part of your mouth that opens up when you're talking or eating. So the line that I'm extending from this oval is going to go on the top part of the lip. This one's going to connect to the middle, and then this will connect to the bottom of the line. And I think that's a pretty good mouth shape. Erase your guidelines. And then you can make any fixes that you see that you need. Like I think I need to fix the top part of the lip here. After you have your first one, which might not be your favorite one, you can figure out how to change the circles to create the kind of mouth shape that you want. So me personally, if I'm trying to create a portrait of myself, I know that I don't have very thick lips. So I'm going to try to make some circles that are a little bit more flat. Kind of look like, I don't know, pancakes. The bottom circle should be as wide as the two on top. And then create the line above. And if you want that to be more exaggerated, I think you just kind of have to change your two circle shapes. Then the bottom curve. And then the bottom lip. Once you get comfortable enough with creating a mouth shape like this, and remember, all people have lips. If you don't want to draw lips because you think it's going to make a masculine or a boy character look a little too feminine, then maybe just change the size of the lips or don't exaggerate with too much shading or too heavy of a line. So if you wanted to make a character have a mouth with lighter lips, maybe just create the bottom lip. Or just the top lip. You can make the circles a little bit more round to have fuller lips, a little more flat to have thinner lips. And you can not connect the lines to have the lips be a little bit less exaggerated. For the ears, 3 circles, again, I guess that's the theme of our book, is how to turn 3 circles into eyeballs, noses, mouths, and ears. I guess you'll start with this large oval on top, and a little bit over to the side is kind of that pancake shape oval that I was talking about when I was drawing smaller lips. And then this looks like a kind of like almost a perfect circle on the bottom. So everybody has differently shaped ears, but they're all kind of gonna be in this general kind of shape. And then connect it with a line kind of going on the outside. I guess we're not connecting one on the inside because that part would be connected to your head. And unless you're drawing Vincent van Gogh's missing ear, you're going to have a head on this part. All right, step 2 gets kind of complicated. We are creating the ridge of the ear right here, and I think everybody in this class has ears, so you can kind of feel that on your own face, feel the ridge. So they have this heavy shadow since your ear ridge will have a shadow on it. I think they're just kind of keeping the shadow inside the circle here, big circle, and following the edge of the larger outline you have. I only want to see you try the ear one time. It is kind of a complicated shape. Then there's the part of your ear that is on the inside. So since that is another hole on your head, kind of like your nostrils, it's going to be shaded in. And that's mostly inside this big circle. So do your best to recreate this kind of shape. It's such an odd shape that the only way I would describe it is as the ear hole shape. Do your best with it. And everybody's ears are a little different. So if it doesn't look like this, it's still going to look like an ear, okay? Step 3 is just adding a lot more shading and erasing your guidelines. So I'm erasing those 3 circles that I started with. The circles in all of these face parts just help it look more 3-dimensional, give it a little bit more volume, and it makes it a little bit more interesting and less flat. So you could leave your ear like that, and that's fine. I think this actually looks like an ear, even though it's not connected to the head. And then if you want to add the shadows of the ear, that would be the last step. All right, so for your assignment, I would like to see 4 things. 3 of them will be 3 mouths. More like 3 lips, because these mouths don't have a smile or any real emotion to them. So just do your best creating 3 mouths. And that was by making a couple of circles. Kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. Connecting the top circles. Kind of looks like a heart. And that extends out. If you make this part a little more squished, it might look like a person doing like a kissy face or like a duck face. Touch the bottom lip to that part. Make kind of more of like a 3-dimensional kind of lip. You can try to make 3 that look exactly the same, or you can experiment with, maybe you want to make a smaller mouth or a thinner lipped mouth. So just make your circles a little bit more stretched out. I'm gonna make this one frowning. I think the hardest part is just trying to erase all your guidelines so you don't see them anymore. Okay. And then one more. So I made a frown, a regular. I think I'll try to make a smile this time. So you can draw your 2 little end points, go through the bumps. And you've got a smile. And then one ear. And I made it right there. I'm not going to do it again because it was kind of a pain. That's okay. We can learn through pain. So 4 total things. Please take a photo of it and turn it into the slideshow. During our meet on Tuesday or Wednesday, we will create a whole face together. So last week we made half a face, and then we can add a mouth to it.